Hey, what is up everybody, Blades for here, and today I have for you guys another video of Persona 5X. Inside today's video guys, we're going to be going ahead and doing the Ange unit review here, which was the first anniversary unit. Now this character was absolutely amazing and I can't really wait to get at least what she can do, because she's probably one of my favorite navigators inside of this game. So if you guys are interested in this, be sure to sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. And as always, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. It really does help me out quite a lot. All right, but we're gonna go ahead and jump straight in. So for this character, she did release on at least the first anniversary, which was not too long ago when of course recording this video. And I have to say, man, she was absolutely amazing, and she's still amazing to this day. Much like of course Futaba, Phoebe, and the other navigators here, she is one of the few who's part of the big three of the navigators. Futaba and Phoebe are still pretty much moved around with her around here as well, all being used for their own needs. And this doesn't make Ange any different. In fact, she moves around with them as well, being one of the top 3 at least navigators inside the entire game, though for a different reason. This navigator itself boosts up a lot of pin rate related aspects here, and is going to be a huge necessity for anyone who's going to use like characters such as Makoto, or characters that just genuinely need that pin related type stats. She's absolutely amazing at this, and her main gimmick also allows you to utilize another move again. So she technically forces an extra turn on any character that you pair with her. So it's absolutely insane what she can really perform. But with this in mind, let's go ahead and showcase it off a little bit by at least going over her awarenesses. I ended up getting this character as max as possible, seeing that she is truly the anniversary character and was absolutely worth it. And I will say, you don't need any awarenesses on this character whatsoever. Though if you were to go for any of him, the A1 would definitely be the best for your buck. The main reasoning for the A1 here is because by doing so, you're able to actually start with max stacks of Holy Song. Holy Song is actually going to be allowed to at least utilize some of her navigator uses here, and it also decreases her cooldowns for these actions by 4 actions itself, meaning you can go ahead and use all of these a lot quicker, use your Wheel of Time, which is another move of hers, a lot quicker, and things of that nature. By doing so, you additionally will increase all of your allies' crit rates by 12% for 2 whole turns. Not only is she allowing herself to get this Holy Song faster, so you can do your release rotation a little bit quicker, and she has a cooldown which actually helps you out get those rotations even quicker, but she's also giving all of your characters a 12% crit rate up as well. I find this is absolutely amazing, and is probably one of her most useful type of, at least I want to say one of her most useful at least awarenesses. You can very well go even higher, seeing all of her awarenesses are absolutely amazing, but A1 is probably the most that you want for yourself. But don't get this twisted. If you don't want to go for the A1, don't worry, you don't got to. Her A0 is more than enough for you, especially when it comes down to it, seeing that she's able to gain stacks of Holy Song up to 12 whole stacks. This is actually more than enough that you need for her whole kit, so this is already great. The extra thing that she also has is Myriad Song. Now, Myriad Song is a thing that allows you to then have an ally you can go ahead and select, and this will allow them to immediately take an extra, at least an extra turn. So instead of like a character going once, if you have this effect on them, you can actually make that character go twice. Seeing I actually have this character max duped, I can make that character go about 3 times if I decide to put the Myriad Song on them twice, which is absolutely insane. It really changes the field, especially when you think of it that way. But alongside of this, with the A0 here, after you do use Myriad Song, after at least 7 Wonder non-extra turns, it will then restore this Myriad Song, though it can only be at least triggered once a battle, so you do have to keep that in mind. So even when you do use Myriad Song, right, you can technically only use it once a fight. You can't really utilize it multiple times. It will take quite a long time to get that back. Seeing Wonder himself will have to of course go past 7 extra times in order to utilize this. Most fights don't last that long, especially with Ange here, or especially most of the units, so you won't really per se see this too often. You will pretty much only use the Myriad Song once, and that's pretty much it for the entire battle. So I would say this is more than enough for most people. The A0 is absolutely amazing, but if you can get the A1, it's definitely worth it. Now we went over the awarenesses, let's go ahead and check out her skills. Now when it comes down to the skills here, you're going to be utilizing a lot of these guys here quite often, but really the skill 2 is probably the one that gets the cold shoulder. Of course, all navigators have stat boost, so we don't really have to go over this, but skill 2 is a little bit lackluster. To be honest, it helps with dispelling at least debuffs, which is kind of nice, but you're not normally going to be utilizing this. The ones that you really want to go ahead and pay attention to is the skill 3 and the skill 1. These are your major buffing skills here, with at least skill 3 being the most important one here, increasing all of your attack and related stats by at least 11% with a basis of 156, which actually is probably a little bit lower, seeing of course, you know, it's going to be I think for most people, I want to say 10% maybe. I think if I'm right, I think it's 11%, and instead of 156 it should be like 130, 120 for basic stats, which is pretty dang decent. But alongside of this here, you're also increasing your pin rate, which is absolutely amazing for a lot of people, because this pin is going to be based on at least her attack stat. The more attack stat you have, the more increased pin that you'll get for those 2 whole turns. And instead of at least being 6,440 like mine is, I think the basis is 4,600 as well. So you're getting a nice basis of attack out of this as well, helping out your attack based stats and your pin related stats. Always amazing to do so. As for the skill 1, which is just as important, called Choir of Doves, this one, for me, it boosts up to 8.5%, but I think for just level 10, it should boost you up on damage dealt for 7%. The basis of attack that you need is around like 164, which does increase your damage dealt by 1 whole percent up to 28%. Based on all your attack that you do have, the more attack that you have, the higher that damage dealt is going to go up. Alongside of this, of course, she will end up gaining 4 stacks of Holy Song, which is absolutely amazing, and then you can then use this type of deal to stack back up your Wheel of Time. Because whenever you do use, of course, Wheel of Time, it consumes all your Holy Songs, in which you do need to have those back. So by using Choir of Doves, this will help you get that back fairly quickly, so then you can start to do it all over again and rinse and repeat. Absolutely amazing. These are going to be your main deals that you want to pay attention to, but it's not the only thing that she has in her arsenal. In fact, both of her passives are actually pretty good as well. One of them actually contributing to the Myriad Song status here, increasing your allies at least attack by 37.5%, which should be at least the graced one. And then for resilience here, it actually increases all allies pin rate by 1% after you gain a stack of Holy Song. Now remember, your Holy Song stacks can go up to 12. So that is a decent bit of pin that you get, which is an additional 12%. So surely do keep that in mind. But with this in at least all aspects already covered here, we're going to go ahead and try to show her to our bits of capabilities inside of battle. It's a little bit harder for at least a navigator, seeing I have to wait the action turn themselves. But luckily, since we do have what's it called, her maxed out, we're able to actually get this a little bit quicker to showcase what she really can do. So we're gonna go ahead and utilize this team and show you guys exactly how it does look. So for the first part here, I'm gonna go ahead and show off Myriad Song to show you guys exactly how the extra turn function does work. Normally you would only do this once, you wouldn't do it multiple times. You would only want to do it once here because that's all you would be able to do. But since we have her maxed out, we end up going ahead and putting this buff on at least your main DPS here, and then you can actually do it multiple times if you have that buff up. If you don't have it up, you would only be able to do it once, so I'm only going to do it just for the video. As for Wheel of Time, it looks something like this. Normally you would start with the skill 1, but if you do have a 1 and up, you would start with skill 3. By doing so, of course, you're getting yourself a nice old buff, and it really does come in handy. So what we're going to go ahead and do is we're going to go ahead and skip all of these actions here, and I will show you guys exactly how this works out for Mesa. So we just attacked once, but since we had, of course, that extra turn that was put on us, we're able to then attack twice, technically forcing us to do whatever we want and get more damage out of the deal. So instead of just attacking that one time, I can go ahead and go again to pretty much deal even more damage, which is actually pretty nice to see. Then on the next turn, of course, we're going to go ahead and showcase her skill 1, which is the Choir of Doves. Once again, we go ahead and have low stacks. Choir of Doves will rebuild this back up here, does this little music note type deal here, and which does give us a couple buffs as well. These buffs are pretty darn strong, as I did say beforehand. This one is specifically the damage dealt one, so you will deal a decent bit of damage once we get to that as well. So surely do keep that in mind. So let us go ahead and actually take this a little bit here, just to showcase how it does. So of course we have the extra damage, so that's going to help us out in the damage at least dealt here, allowing us to deal some crazy damage in the long run as well. Then we're going to go ahead and do the skill 2. Now the skill 2 is mainly the one that restores your HP. You guys might have already seen it because it does auto trigger for me, but normally you would end up having to utilize this a little bit as well. But by using the skill 2, it disables, or at least dispels all of those little debuffs that we have on ourselves, and now we get a little bit of healing out of it as well. With this in mind, of course, we are consuming 1 stack of holy songs, so surely do keep that in mind, and it will decrease the skill cooldowns actions by 1 up to 4 whole actions. This also can happen with just a regular heal. If we do have enough for it, it'll just automatically trigger itself, so surely do keep that in mind. But pretty much those are all the skills. Nothing else really comes about this, and you guys can easily see the amount of damage that just by doing this you're able to immediately deal to the boss. But that's pretty much all we had to really go ahead and showcase for Ange here. Seeing of course she's a navigator, she won't have her own little what's it called, AOA. Well, she'll have her AOA, but she won't have her own ultimate, so that's the only thing that we really have to show for this character. Without further ado, I do have to say this is probably my most fun navigator, and even if I had Futaba max duped, I still feel like this would be my most fun navigator. Something about at least going multiple times that really makes everything even more fun to really just sit there and just abuse the power of that really strong DPS that you have in your party. But all in all, she's absolutely amazing, and I feel like a lot of you guys are really going to enjoy her. Now, I think we left out one more thing here, because I think we're a little bit moving too fast, and that was going to be at least the weapon. Now, all I have to say with this weapon is please be sure to get it. The 4-star weapon is also nice, giving yourself an attack buff, but I would rather you guys go ahead and get the 5-star weapon itself as well, because this gives you the holy song stacks that you need, and also gives you permanent increases of damage dealt and crit damage whenever you have pure sound. So you do want to make sure you get this 5-star weapon. It's definitely going to give you everything buck, and although I ended up forgetting about it, it definitely was worth every stinking dime. It's absolutely amazing for your currency to go ahead and utilize this on the anniversary character. Once again, I'm gonna emphasize anniversary character. She was absolutely worth getting this for. So I would suggest a lot of you guys to go ahead and go for it as well. But now we went over everything here. Hopefully y'all enjoyed the video. And until next time, everybody, peace out.